had to turn down $50 million 4 times just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
That clip, the one that existed before the arrests, before the raids, before the federal indictments, that is the moment Katt Williams sat down on national television and told you, with full clarity, exactly what kind of parties Diddy was throwing. And he told you he said no, 4 times, $50 million each time, $200 million worth of no. But here's the question nobody thought to ask. Who said yes? Katt wasn't dropping names just for the laugh. He was constructing a map. And almost every name on that map connects back to a person, a place, or a situation that investigators had already been quietly circling for years. Hollywood doesn't protect talent. It protects secrets. What the world dismissed as roasting was actually something far more deliberate. It was receipts.
Like, he has some works comedically that you could put up there in the pantheon of joke telling, really making black men and black families look really good in a time when that was not a popular thing to do.
By the mid-2000s, Katt Williams was one of the highest-paid stand-up comedians in the country. The man had real leverage, which is precisely what makes his Club Shay Shay confessions so significant. 4 times, $50 million each. $200 million total that he walked away from because he refused to do what Diddy required. Now think about the comedians who didn't walk away. People who couldn't write, couldn't act, couldn't hold a crowd, but kept landing deals, kept getting callbacks. Katt wasn't joking when he said Hollywood runs on a system. He was handing you the operating manual. When that interview dropped months before the September raids, journalists and legal analysts cited it as one of the first moments a major industry figure confirmed on camera what had been happening behind closed doors. He didn't just tell on Diddy. He told on the entire culture of compliance. Show up, take the check, and don't ask what it costs.
Bill Cosby, you ever get to meet him or not? Before he had all the problems?
Is being a rapist one of the problems?
Before Harvey Weinstein and Steve Harvey, we need to stop at Bill Cosby. Because Cosby is the template. The proof of concept for how Hollywood shields powerful men for decades, while the entire industry looks deliberately the other way. Is being a rapist one of the problems? That is not a roast line. That is a verdict. In one sentence, Katt cut through 30 years of institutional protection. He acknowledged the legacy, acknowledged what the Cosby Show meant to a generation, and then buried all of it in one clean line. Because Katt Williams has never believed that talent earns you immunity. The entire architecture of Hollywood power is built on one assumption: that if you are big enough, connected enough, the rules don't apply. Cosby believed that. Weinstein believed that. Diddy believed that.
I'll let you be a star, Lil Rel, but you ugly. And white people don't believe in ugly stars. They think you have to be somebody that women want to sleep with and men want to be. But because we black, they say, oh, you don't even deserve that. So you get Kevin Hart, Lil Rel, Gerard Carmichael, all in a row, Hannibal Buress. Why? Because you know ain't nobody gonna sleep.
Kevin Hart's name keeps appearing in conversations surrounding Katt in a way that goes far deeper than comedy beef. The Frank and Wanda interview wasn't Katt being petty. It was Katt laying out his complete theory of how Hollywood selects black male comedy stars. The selection criteria has nothing to do with talent. It comes down to desirability. Specifically, the absence of it. Kevin's response sounded reasonable on the surface. Work hard. Take personal responsibility. Stop blaming Hollywood. Clean, polished, PR-friendly. But notice what he never addressed. The structural arguments. He made it personal. And by making it personal, he avoided the bigger picture entirely, which is exactly what someone does when the bigger picture is too dangerous to touch. Then there's Steve Harvey. Katt's dismantling of him on Club Shay Shay wasn't just entertainment. It was a surgical dissection of how power operates. A man who took Mark Curry's sitcom concept, took Bernie Mac's lane the moment Bernie died, took the Family Feud platform and repackaged it as his own brand. Harvey didn't create. He consolidated. And in Hollywood, that is a very specific kind of power move. Different name, identical mechanism to Weinstein. He acquired, consolidated, and built an empire entirely on the industry's willingness to look away because the money kept flowing.
So then I go on Twitter, and it's the same thing. It's like, oh, it's a fake Dave Chappelle. My name, my picture was not me.
No.
So I start following the guy. And then, like a week or two into it, he just turns evil and starts like a whole Twitter beef with this guy, Katt Williams. You know, Katt.
The real Katt Williams?
Right, well, that's the problem, that Katt Williams starts saying things to this fake Dave Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle, one of the most fearless comedians alive, was visibly nervous about Katt being in that room at Def Comedy Jam 25. Not because Katt is violent, because Katt Williams is unpredictable in the most specific and dangerous way. He will say the exact thing nobody else is willing to say. Katt's bits about Michael Jackson weren't surface jokes. He was speaking directly to his audience and delivering a warning. This is what the industry does if you surrender to it. It strips away everything that made you who you are and replaces it with whatever version of you is most useful to the people holding power. He named the dynamic. He described the mechanism. And he did it in 2006. When saying any of it out loud required courage the rest of the industry simply could not find. There is a pattern Katt keeps returning to. Powerful people in Hollywood steal from those who cannot fight back, and the industry helps rewrite the story afterward. Katt has the receipts. He has always had the receipts. The industry's primary mechanism for managing dangerous knowledge isn't violence or NDAs. It's credibility destruction. Make the person who knows too much appear unstable. Make them look difficult. Make them look like the problem. So that when they say, "I turned down $200 million, nobody asks why. Katt calling Chappelle the greatest comedian of his generation is not a throwaway compliment. It is recognition. One blacklisted man looking at another saying, "I see you. I know exactly what it cost you." Both walked away from massive money. Both got labeled unstable, difficult, unreliable. Both watched less talented, but far more compliant performers fill the spaces they refuse to occupy. Look at what they called Diddy, a mogul, a visionary. Kevin Hart, the hardest working man in entertainment. And then look at what they called Katt Williams. Difficult, unstable, a risk. Katt Williams is not the story. He is the narrator. And the story he has been telling for 30 years is finally, slowly, painfully, undeniably, catching up to everyone he named along the way. The names are out there. The clips are real. The timeline is documented. And the man who kept saying no is still standing. What does that tell you about everyone who said yes?
Thank you very much. And bye bye. And my name is Wow.